Welcome back to The Price of Business, which today is brought to you in part by Cornerstone Business Academy. I'm going to make sure you learn more about them, and you can find out more about them over at priceofbusiness.com. I'm going to go to my next guest. She contributed in one of the series of articles that we did on marketing, doing marketing consulting for the medical and legal profession. Ann Kleinman, and Infinitum is the company that she's with. And welcome to the program. How are you today?
Good morning, Kevin. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My pleasure to join you.
You bet. Tell us, you wrote an article, you participated in that. Those legal and medical professionals are an interesting lot. Before you talk about them, though, tell us a little bit about your company and the full extent of your services. Okay.
So for over 30 years, I've been helping clients go from inefficient to effective in their marketing efforts. And we do this by helping the client to find their target audience, refine their message, and then we help them actually deliver that message primarily through the use of a combination of promotional products, which we've been selling for over 30 years, and then in the last 5 years or so, we've been showing them how to integrate social media and the online tools, including their website, so that it's part of their marketing presence, not just some place to spend time during the day.
Okay, very good. Tell me about your organization, about your size of your group, your clients that you typically are working with, a little bit of that type of information.
Okay. So we are a small boutique firm. We have under 5 full-time consultants, and most of our clients fall under our ideal target audience. And that would be entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small to medium firms in the $3 to $15 million revenue space, and then professional services firms where they have generally up to 12 partners. The same thing, medical offices. Again, it's solo doctors up to larger group practices.
Okay.
And
yeah, very good.
Most of those people really, they try and do it all themselves. And then that moment comes where they go, I bet I could get more done and earn more money if I brought somebody in to help me do what's not my core competency.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And when they sit there and they consider what their time is value-wise with the training that they went through, certainly, they need that rude awakening, and unfortunately, most medical professionals and legal professionals, there's not usually many business classes that they take, if any business classes. My friends who are medical doctors and lawyers have told me, yeah, they did a business class in like the last semester of med school, because they think they're pretty sure you probably would change professions if you knew there was a business side to it. But, that's kind of a challenge. It's very different from where their real core competencies are. And their core competencies have enormous value. So it's crazy for them to do activities that, certainly are valuable, but not at the hourly rate that their medical training is worth.
Right.
And
with lawyers, that's even more the case.
Yeah, absolutely. So no question about it. Speaking of that, what percentage of your clientele are in the professional fields, legal, medical, accountant? What percentage?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say probably somewhere between 30 and 50%. Mm-hmm.
And so you also have a large business that doesn't reach or work with the professionals, if you will. It's just with general businesses, I would assume.
General businesses, several of them, and over the years we've had many healthcare related. So home healthcare agencies, firms that do the medical exams for insurance companies, hospitals, emergency services departments, ambulance companies. So they're not the medical professional, but they're the ones frequently marketing to those medical professionals. So it gives you the other side of the coin. Yeah.
Do you work with some of the more esoteric areas of health field, people maybe who are veterinarians, people who are chiropractors, a little less prominent, if you will, a little off the mainstream.
Yes, I have. And I've worked with imaging places, which are also a little bit more off the main, where people think of, I have to market a medical practice.
Very good, very good. What's the biggest challenge in dealing with the professionals when it comes to the accountants and lawyers, et cetera? What's the biggest challenge in engaging with them?
The biggest challenge for particularly accountants and attorneys, even more so than medical, is that their industries are highly regulated, but people don't view, the target audience doesn't view it as highly regulated. So, for example, here in New York, the Bar Association considers websites to be legal advertising, and it has to say so on each page of the website. The
Right.
trick becomes, how do you convey that requirement without it looking spammy and commercial, and emphasize the important information that you're trying to share with your target audience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's a very delicate balance. But so you're telling me it's hard to reach them because they're kind of resistant to traditional marketing because they're fearful of the legal implications? Is that why it's hard? Well, I guess my question, what I meant, is what's your challenge in engaging with them in becoming potential clients?
Okay. So that's a great question, and it's got an interesting answer. The challenge is in showing these people who've spent all that money, as you mentioned, to get their professional training, that they do really need to market their practice, that it's not beneath their dignity. It's part of the day-to-day running of the practice.
Right. And that's a huge challenge, absolutely. And otherwise they won't have a practice to run.
Correct. And that's generally the point that we need to make to them.
Yeah.
That they need to be cognizant.
I would also assume because they are in the exchange of time for money business like nobody's business. I mean, that is really how they make their money, exchanging time for money. And so I would assume just getting the opportunity to engage with them is somewhat challenging as well because of how valuable they perceive their time.
So it is a little bit difficult if you're trying to cold call or get them on the phone. The trick to engaging with them is to make that connection in person. There are lots of venues where lawyers hang out, and it's not, contrary to popular belief, it's not online. It's not on Facebook. It's not on Pinterest, and it's not even really on LinkedIn. It's in person. It's continuing legal education classes that they have to attend. There are opportunities to present those classes. It does have to be done with another attorney, but it is still an opportunity. There are networking groups in lots of bar associations. Lawyers love to network with each other. That's their biggest source of business. But if you, as a non-lawyer who has services that help them, you can get in front of them by being in those places where they congregate. And they're really very happy to speak to a non-lawyer at those events.
Sure. Ann, thanks so much for being with us. Ann Kleinman, go ahead and give your website real quick.
Sure. Thanks, Kevin. It was a pleasure to be with you, and my website is adinfinitumcorporate.com.
Thanks so much. Also want to encourage you to check out our article at priceofbusiness.com. Thanks so much. We enjoyed your conversation today.
Thank you.
All right. When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you best content here. Show us up over there at usdailyreview.com. And you're listening to The Price of Business.